Right now, before anything else, I want you to stop for a moment and simply be here without trying to fix anything or understand everything that is happening inside your mind. You don't need to rush, you don't need to react, and you don't need to carry everything you've been carrying throughout this day. Just allow yourself to pause, even if it feels unfamiliar. Because this moment right now is not about control, it is about release, and you are allowed to let go. I know your mind has been restless, moving from one thought to another without giving you a moment of true peace. It feels like something inside you refuses to slow down, as if staying alert is the only way to stay safe. You try to anticipate what might happen, you try to prepare for every possible outcome, and you try to stay one step ahead of everything. But instead of protecting you, it only makes you feel more tired. And that exhaustion is deeper than just physical. Your body may feel tired, but your mind keeps going, replaying moments, imagining conversations, and creating scenarios that haven't even happened yet. It feels like you are constantly thinking, constantly analyzing, constantly trying to understand everything. And even when you try to rest, your thoughts don't stop. They continue in the background, pulling your attention, keeping you alert, keeping you tense, and slowly that takes away your peace. There is a weight inside you that is difficult to explain, something invisible but very real, something that follows you throughout the day and becomes louder at night. It sits in your chest, in your breathing, in your thoughts, and sometimes you don't even notice how much it affects you, but it is there, quietly shaping how you feel, and the longer you carry it, the heavier it becomes. Sometimes it feels like you are alone inside your own mind, like no one else can truly understand what is happening inside you. You may look calm on the outside, but inside there is noise, tension, and a constant sense of pressure. And even when everything around you seems fine, your mind keeps searching for something to worry about. It keeps looking for what could go wrong, and that keeps you stuck. But listen to this carefully, because this moment matters more than you think right now. You are not alone in this, not in your thoughts, not in your feelings, and not in this moment. Even if it feels like it, even if your mind tells you otherwise, there is something greater with you right now, and that changes everything, even if you don't feel it yet. God is here with you in this exact moment, not far away, not distant, not waiting for you to be better or stronger. He sees you exactly as you are right now, with everything you are feeling, everything you are thinking, and everything you are carrying. You don't need to explain anything to him, and you don't need to have the right words, because he already understands everything inside you. He sees the thoughts you cannot control, the fears you try to ignore, and the tension you carry without even realizing it. And he is not overwhelmed by any of it. What feels heavy to you is not heavy for him. What feels confusing to you is already clear to him. And what feels out of control to you is already in his hands. Right now, you don't need to solve anything, you don't need to figure everything out, and you don't need to keep holding everything together. Because the truth is, you were never meant to carry all of this on your own. You were never meant to control every outcome, every possibility, and every situation, and that pressure you feel is not yours to keep. Anxiety grows when you try to hold everything by yourself, when you believe that if you think enough, if you prepare enough, you can prevent everything that might go wrong. But that is an endless cycle, one that never brings peace, because there will always be something else to think about, something else to worry about, something else to control, and that cycle keeps you trapped. But peace begins in a different way, not through control, not through understanding, and not through trying harder. Peace begins when you allow yourself to release what you cannot carry, when you stop holding everything so tightly, when you finally let go, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. Because letting go is not losing control, it is trusting. And tonight, you are not going to fight your anxiety the way you usually do. You are not going to try to silence your thoughts by force or push your feelings away. Instead, you are going to do something different. You are going to allow yourself to release everything slowly, gently, without resistance, and that is where peace begins. Right now, take a slow and deep breath, not rushing, not forcing, just allowing your body to follow the rhythm naturally. Feel the air entering your lungs, expanding your chest, creating space inside you. And as you exhale, imagine everything heavy leaving you little by little, not all at once, but enough to start feeling lighter. Let go of the thoughts that keep repeating without giving you peace. Let go of the fear of tomorrow, of things that have not even happened yet. Let go of the pressure to have everything figured out right now, because you don't need to carry tomorrow tonight. You only need to be here, in this moment. Every time you exhale, imagine your mind becoming quieter, your body becoming lighter, and your heart becoming calmer. You don't need to force it, you don't need to control it, you only need to allow it, because your body already knows how to relax, your mind already knows how to slow down, it just needs permission. God is with you right now, in this exact moment, closer than your thoughts, closer than your fears, closer than your anxiety. And His presence is not something you need to reach, it is something you need to notice. It is already here, surrounding you, holding you, calming you, and you are safe to feel that. You don't need to fight any more tonight. You don't need to stay alert. You don't need to keep trying to control everything, because you are not alone in this moment, and that changes everything, even if nothing else has changed yet. Right now, allow yourself to release just a little more. Let go of the tension in your body. Let go of the tightness in your chest. Let go of the constant need to think about everything. And allow yourself to feel what it is like to be present, without pressure, without urgency. This moment is not about solving your life. It is about calming your soul. It is about stepping out of the noise and into something quieter, something deeper, something more real. And that shift begins right now, not later, not tomorrow, but in this exact moment. You are safe here. You are held here. And right now, you can let go. God, in this moment, I come before you just as I am, without trying to appear strong, without trying to hide what I feel, and without trying to control my thoughts. You already know everything inside me, every fear, every doubt, and every emotion that I carry silently. There is nothing I can hide from you, and there is nothing I need to explain. So I simply come as I am, open and honest, ready to let go of everything I've been holding. There are thoughts inside me that I don't even fully understand, feelings that come and go without warning, and worries that seem to grow even when I try to ignore them. Sometimes I feel like I am fighting something invisible, something that keeps returning no matter how much I try to control it, and that makes me feel tired, not just physically, but deeply inside my mind and my heart. And tonight, I don't want to keep fighting like this. I realize that trying to control everything has not brought me peace. It has only made me more anxious and more overwhelmed. The more I think, the more I worry, and the more I try to predict what might happen, the more I feel like I am losing control. And that cycle has been exhausting me, slowly taking away my energy and my calm. So in this moment, I choose something different. God, I don't want to carry this weight alone anymore. I don't want to keep trying to solve everything by myself, and I don't want to stay trapped inside my own thoughts. So right now, I place everything in your hands. Every worry about tomorrow, every fear of what might go wrong, and every thought that keeps repeating inside my mind, I release it all to you. I give you the things I cannot control, the situations I cannot change, and the outcomes I cannot predict, because I know that what feels overwhelming to me is not overwhelming to you. What feels uncertain to me is already known by you, and what feels out of control in my life is already in your hands, and that truth begins to calm something inside me. Even when I don't feel it completely yet, I choose to trust you, not because everything makes sense, but because I know you are faithful. Not because I have all the answers, but because I know you are in control in this moment. God, help me to release the need to understand everything right now. Help me to let go of the pressure to have answers, to have clarity, and to have control. Because I see now that this pressure has only been increasing my anxiety, making me feel like I am responsible for things that are not mine to carry. And I don't want to live like that anymore. I want to live with peace, not with constant tension. I want to feel calm, not overwhelmed, and I want to trust you even when my thoughts try to pull me in the opposite direction, because I know that true peace is not found in control, it is found in surrender, and that is what I am choosing right now. God, I release every thought that has been repeating in my mind today, every fear that has been growing without reason, and every doubt that has been taking space inside me. I don't hold on to them anymore. I don't try to fix them, I simply let them go and place them in your hands. Even if part of me still feels anxious, I choose not to resist it with fear. Instead, I bring it to you. I don't fight my thoughts, I surrender them. I don't try to silence my mind by force. I allow your peace to quiet it naturally. And in doing that, I begin to feel lighter. God, I trust that you are working even when I cannot see it. I trust that you are present even when I don't feel it clearly. And I trust that you are in control even when everything feels uncertain. And that trust begins to replace the anxiety little by little. Right now, I allow my breathing to slow down. I allow my body to relax, and I allow my mind to release the tension it has been holding, because I am not alone in this moment, and I don't need to carry everything by myself anymore. God, thank you for being patient with me, even when I struggle, even when I doubt, and even when I feel overwhelmed. Thank you for not expecting perfection from me, and for meeting me exactly where I am. That alone gives me comfort. If you are here right now listening to this prayer, allow yourself to stay in this moment a little longer. Let this peace settle inside you, let this calm become real, and let this connection grow stronger, because this is not just a prayer, it is a place you can return to whenever you need. And if you want to continue coming back to this moment of peace, to this space where your mind can finally rest, stay connected, because this is a place where you don't have to carry everything alone. This is a place where you can release, breathe, and find calm again. God, I choose to trust you again, right now, in this moment. Even if my thoughts are not completely quiet yet, even if my emotions are still settling, I choose to believe that you are in control. and that choice begins to change everything inside me. I release the need to hold everything together. I release the pressure to be strong all the time, and I release the fear of not being able to handle everything, because I know now that I don't have to do this alone. Right now, I feel a sense of calm beginning to grow inside me. Something quiet but real, something steady and gentle. It may not be perfect, it may not be complete, but it is enough, and I allow myself to stay in this feeling. God, thank you for receiving everything I gave to you in this moment. Thank you for taking the weight I could not carry, and thank you for replacing it with a peace that I did not have before. And from this moment forward, I choose to come back to this place whenever I feel overwhelmed. I choose to return to you again and again until peace becomes my natural state. God, in this moment, I ask you to remind me of who you truly are, beyond what I feel and beyond what my thoughts are trying to convince me right now. Because sometimes my mind creates a version of reality that feels overwhelming, uncertain, and unstable. It makes everything seem bigger, heavier, and more urgent than it really is. But I know that you are not affected by my fear. You remain constant, steady, and in control of everything. There are moments when my thoughts try to take over, creating scenarios that feel real even when they are not. I begin to imagine things going wrong. I begin to anticipate problems that haven't even happened, and I start to feel anxious about situations that are not real yet. And even though I know this is happening, it still feels difficult to stop. But tonight, I choose to step out of that cycle. God, you are not surprised by anything I am facing right now, and nothing in my life is outside of your control. What feels uncertain to me is already known by you, and what feels confusing to me is already clear to you. I don't need to understand everything to trust you, because your wisdom is greater than mine, and that gives me peace even in the middle of uncertainty. Sometimes I feel like I need to have everything figured out in order to feel safe, but that pressure only makes me more anxious and more tired. I try to control every outcome, every possibility, every situation, believing that control will bring me peace. But control has never been my source of peace, and it never will be, because peace comes from trusting you, not from controlling everything. God, I release the need to understand everything right now, and I release the pressure I have been placing on myself. I don't need to have all the answers. I don't need to know what will happen tomorrow, and I don't need to solve everything tonight, because you are already working, even when I don't see it, and that allows me to rest. Even when my thoughts try to return to fear, I choose to come back to this truth again and again, that you are greater than anything I am facing. Fear may feel strong, but it is not stronger than you. Anxiety may feel persistent, but it is not more powerful than your presence. And every time I remember that, I feel something inside me begin to calm down. God, remind me that not every thought I have is true, and not every feeling reflects reality. Sometimes my mind exaggerates, sometimes it distorts, and sometimes it creates fear where there is none. But your truth remains the same, steady and unchanging, and when I hold on to your truth instead of my thoughts, everything begins to shift inside me. You are my anchor when everything feels unstable, my peace when everything feels chaotic, and my strength when I feel weak. That means I don't have to rely on my own ability to stay calm, because my calm comes from you. And even when my emotions fluctuate, you remain the same, and that gives me something real to hold on to. Right now, I choose to trust you more than I trust my thoughts, and I choose to believe your truth more than I believe my fears, because my thoughts can change, my emotions can change, but you never change, and that is where my stability comes from. That is where my peace begins. God, I allow my breathing to slow down, my body to relax, and my mind to quiet, not because I forced it, but because I am letting go. I am releasing the tension, the pressure, and the constant need to think about everything, and in doing that, I begin to feel lighter. I don't need to carry anxiety anymore. I don't need to live in constant tension, and I don't need to believe every fear that comes into my mind, because I know that you are here, and that is enough for me in this moment. God, in this moment, I make a conscious and intentional decision to release everything that has been weighing on my heart throughout this day. I recognize that I have been holding on to thoughts that are too heavy for me to carry, worries that I cannot resolve on my own, and fears that have been growing every time I try to control them. And right now, I choose to place all of it into your hands, not partially, not with hesitation, but completely and without resistance. There is a part of me that still wants to hold on, a part that believes that if I keep thinking and analyzing everything, I will somehow gain control over what is happening. But deep inside, I know that this has only been exhausting me, draining my energy, and taking away my peace little by little. So in this moment, I let go of that need to control everything. I release the illusion that I need to figure it all out. God, I bring before you every thought that has been repeating in my mind today, every fear that has been growing without reason, and every doubt that has been taking space inside my heart. I don't hide anything from you, and I don't try to fix anything on my own anymore. I simply place it all in your hands. I trust that you can handle what I cannot. Right now, I surrender every fear about tomorrow, every uncertainty about what might happen, and every pressure I have been placing on myself to have everything under control. I don't need to carry tomorrow today, and I don't need to anticipate problems that haven't even arrived, because you are already in my tomorrow, and that alone gives me peace. God, I choose to trust you even when my emotions are not stable, even when my thoughts try to pull me back into anxiety, because trust is not a feeling, it is a decision that I make again and again. And right now, I make that decision with intention. I choose to believe that you are in control. If you are listening to this prayer right now, take a moment to make this real in your heart, not just something you hear, but something you truly feel. Let these words become your own. Let this moment become personal and meaningful, because this is not just a prayer. This is a turning point in your mind and your heart. Now, gently and sincerely, say these words with me, allowing them to come from deep within your heart. I trust you, Lord. Say it slowly, letting each word settle inside you. I trust you, Lord. Feel the meaning of those words as you say them. Say it again, but this time with more intention, as if you are truly placing everything into God's hands. I trust you, Lord. Let that declaration replace the fear. Let it interrupt the anxious thoughts that have been repeating. Let it create space for peace to enter. When you repeat these words, something begins to shift inside you, even if it feels subtle at first. Your thoughts begin to slow down, your breathing becomes calmer, and your body starts to relax. Because what you declare consistently begins to shape what you believe, and what you believe begins to shape how you feel. God, I declare that I trust you more than my fears, more than my doubts, and more than the anxious thoughts that try to take over my mind, because your truth is greater than anything I feel right now, and I choose to hold on to that truth. Even if part of me still feels afraid, I choose to move forward with trust. Even if my thoughts are not completely quiet yet, I choose to anchor myself in this truth, because I understand now that peace is not about perfection, it is about surrender. Right now, I release the need to control every outcome, every possibility, and every situation. I release the pressure I have been placing on myself to have everything figured out, because those things were never meant to give me peace. They only brought me anxiety. God, I open my hands, symbolically letting go of everything I have been holding so tightly. I stop gripping my worries, I stop holding on to fear, and I allow myself to rest in your presence. And in doing that, I begin to feel lighter. I recognize that I don't have to carry this alone. I don't have to face everything by myself, and I don't have to live in constant tension anymore, because you are with me, and that changes everything. Right now, I feel a shift happening inside me. It may be subtle, it may be quiet, but it is real. A sense of release, a sense of relief, and a sense of peace beginning to take place. God, thank you for receiving everything I just gave to you. Thank you for taking what I could not carry, and thank you for replacing my anxiety with your peace. I don't take this moment lightly. I recognize that something important is happening here, something that I can return to again and again whenever I need. And from this moment forward, every time anxiety tries to return, I will come back to this truth. I trust you, Lord. God, in this moment, I begin to feel something changing inside me, something quiet but deeply real, something that I cannot fully explain, but I can clearly feel. It is not overwhelming, it is not sudden, but it is steady, gentle, and peaceful. It feels like the weight I was carrying is slowly being lifted from my shoulders, and for the first time in a while, I feel like I can breathe without tension. This peace does not come from having answers or from knowing what will happen tomorrow. It comes from knowing that I am not alone, that I am not responsible for everything, and that I am held by you. And that realization alone begins to calm everything inside me. God, your presence is here right now, surrounding me, holding me, calming me. And when I focus on that presence instead of my thoughts, everything begins to slow down. My breathing becomes deeper, my body becomes lighter, and my mind becomes quieter. There was a time when I believed that peace would only come when everything in my life was resolved. But now I see that true peace is not found in control, it is found in surrender. It is found in letting go and trusting you completely. God, I no longer want to fight my thoughts. I no longer want to resist my emotions, and I no longer want to live in constant tension. Instead, I choose to allow this peace to fill me and take the place of anxiety. I feel my shoulders relaxing, my chest becoming lighter, and my breathing becoming slower. And all of this is happening not because I forced it, but because I allowed myself to let go. God, this moment feels different. There is a calm that was not here before, a stillness that I haven't felt in a long time, and I want to stay here, present, aware, and connected to you. I understand now that I don't need to chase peace because it is already here. It becomes available the moment I stop resisting and start surrendering. God, thank you for this peace that I cannot create on my own. Thank you for calming what I could not calm, and thank you for restoring what I thought was lost. Right now, I allow myself to fully rest, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. I release every last bit of tension and allow your presence to fill me. I am safe in this moment. I am held in this moment, and I am not alone. God, as I come to the end of this moment, I realize that something inside me has shifted in a way that I cannot fully explain, but I can clearly feel. It is not loud, it is not overwhelming, but it is real and steady. The weight that I was carrying earlier feels lighter now, and the tension that was inside me is no longer the same. Even if my situation has not changed, something within me has changed, and that alone means everything. I understand now that I don't need to carry everything by myself, and I don't need to have all the answers before I can feel peace. For so long, I believed that peace would come after everything was resolved, after everything made sense, and after I felt in control. But now I see that peace is available even in the middle of uncertainty. Because peace does not come from control, it comes from you. God, I release every last bit of anxiety that is still trying to remain inside me, every lingering thought, every small fear, every hidden tension that I may not even be fully aware of. I don't hold on to anything anymore. I place it all in your hands, trusting that you will take care of what I cannot. Tonight, I choose to rest in a different way, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. I allow my mind to slow down without resistance, and I allow my body to relax without tension. I give myself permission to rest deeply, knowing that I am safe. Even if anxious thoughts try to return later, I will not be afraid of them. I will not fight them with fear, and I will not let them take control. Instead, I will come back to this moment, to this truth, and to your presence, because I now understand that I don't have to carry anything alone anymore. God, thank you for being present with me even when I didn't notice, even when I felt overwhelmed, and even when I felt alone. Thank you for calming what I could not calm, and for bringing peace into a place that felt chaotic. Your presence has changed something inside me. I realize now that I don't need to rush out of this moment. I don't need to go back to thinking about everything immediately. I can stay here for a little longer, allowing this peace to settle deeper inside me, allowing this calm to become something real and lasting. This peace is not temporary, it is not fragile, and it is not something that disappears easily. It is something that I can return to, something that is always available to me when I come back to you. And that gives me confidence and comfort. God, I trust that as I close my eyes tonight, you will continue taking care of everything that I placed in your hands. I trust that even while I rest, you are working, and that allows me to sleep without fear. I don't need to stay alert anymore. I don't need to stay tense, and I don't need to keep thinking about everything, because you are watching over me, protecting me, and guiding me even in my rest. Right now, I feel my breathing slower, my body more relaxed, and my mind quieter than before. And I allow myself to stay in this feeling without trying to analyze it, without trying to control it, and without trying to change it. God, thank you for this moment of peace that I didn't think I could feel tonight. Thank you for reminding me that I am not alone, that I am held, and that I am safe. That truth is enough for me. If you are listening to this right now, don't rush to leave this moment. Stay here just a little longer. Let this calm settle inside you. Let this peace become part of you, and let this moment stay with you. And if this brought peace to your heart, come back to this whenever you need. Let this become your place of rest, your place of calm, and your place of connection. Because you don't have to face anxiety alone anymore. You don't have to carry everything by yourself anymore. And you don't have to stay trapped inside your thoughts anymore. God is with you right now. He will be with you tonight, and He will be with you tomorrow. And with a peaceful heart, a calm mind, and a soul that has finally released what it was carrying, we close this prayer together. Amen.